Oh, terrific film. Eric, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
It's a pleasure.
We had a little look there behind the scenes of how things go on. It must be tiring, mustn't it, going on the road and doing
Well, there's about a
lots of gigs?
6-hour setting up job each day and travelling from gig to gig as well. It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
No, there's an awful lot of work goes into it, but do you, now that you've reached a certain status, are you in a position that you can just turn up from the hotel and...
No, we do a sound check every day. We've got a really good crew who can set the gear up, as you saw on the film there. But we do a pretty 3 to 4 hour sound check each night, each gig, just to be sure.
Mm-hmm. How near do you think you can get to the studio quality?
Well, we use all the same equipment on the road as you saw again in the film. We take a lot of the gear out of the studio. We nick bits of equipment, things that we've used, digital delays, reverberation. All the microphones are the same. And we think we get pretty close. It depends on the acoustics of the hall, of course, but we get pretty close.
You're not just a musician, you're a technician in the sense that you've always been involved with production and studio work and whatever. How did that come about? I mean, if somebody's watching this program, they want to know how they can become a 10cc of the future. What's the training?
Well, we used to come down to the London studios and record when I was with the Mindbenders, and we thought we could do it a little bit better ourselves. And we started out with just a couple of stereo machines, track jumping from one to the other. And then we got enough money to buy a 4-track, etc., and built the studio up that way. And we built Strawberry Studios up in Stockport.
How do you keep up with trends and developments? Because the whole industry runs on so quickly, doesn't it?
Well, a lot of it's gimmicky. A lot of the effects that people ask for are pretty gimmicky. I think basically you've got to have a perfect natural sound in the studio, and all the rest of it is gimmick and elaboration.
Right. Would you like to pick up the telephone over there, please?
Yay.
We have on the line Andrew Whiteside. Hello, Andrew.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, you're through to Eric Stewart. What's your question?
I'd like to ask him which song of yours gets requested most?
Which song? Well, I think it's got to be the track you just watched, I'm Not in Love. That seems to be the most requested of all time, of our tracks anyway.
And which is your favourite and which is your least favourite?
Well, my favourite is I'm Not in Love. Wouldn't it be? My least favourite track? What, of our tracks, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The Dean and I always thought it sounded like something from South Pacific, and Kevin Lowell used to get very upset
You
about
don't like that? It's one of my favourites.
Ah, well, you see. We've all got different tastes.
Thank you very much for your questions. Thanks for your call. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Patricia Collins is on line 5. Hello, Patricia.
Hello.
What's your question?
Yeah, I hope this isn't going to be too awkward. I just wanted to know, did Eric regret splitting up with the original 10cc? And did he think he'd team up with Lowell Cream and Kevin Godley again?
I don't think I regret Kevin Lowell leaving the band. It was just a musical progression at the time. I think it was a good thing for both of us. They went on to develop the gizmo and some other things they were inventing. And I think it was a good time for us to have a look at our roots again, and Graham and I recorded some stuff after that, which in fact was more successful than any previous 10cc stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a possibility we could get together again, of course, yeah.
There is.
So it wasn't a personal split, it was very much in terms of professional decision.
Very much a business split, yeah.
Thank you very much, Patricia.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Chris Mackenzie's next up. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Noel.
What's your question, please?
I'd like to ask Eric, how did the group get its name?
10cc?
Yes?
It's a strange one, this. Jonathan King came up to listen to our first demo, which was a track called Donna, and he said, believe it or not, I had a dream last night and I saw a group called 10cc who were the biggest group in the world, and there was a big sign over Wembley Stadium. So we said, well, that'd better be us then. And that's, honestly, that's where the name came from.
Do you ever see much of Jonathan?
Jonathan, we see him in court occasionally these days.
Oh, well, we won't go into that. Thank you very much for your question, Chris. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Could we have a swap from you, please, Eric?
A swap, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've brought along a multicoloured jacket.
Yes, wow, we have these two jackets here. One is the official 10cc tour jacket from the film you've just seen. We had these made for our road crew. And this is a jacket that was made for our Japanese tour in November last year, which has got this incredible silk work on the back. And it's never been worn, so there it is.
Terrific.
There we are.
And the coffee mug's just because you were having some refreshment.
Yes.
What about a question?
A question. Yes, the gig you just saw there was at the Brighton Pavilion. What we'd like to know is who was the architect who designed the Brighton Pavilion?
Simple. So, well, I don't know about simple answer, but simple question. So, questions, please, or rather answers to the question on a postcard to us here at Swap Shop. Mentioning Japan, which part of the world do you like? I mean, other than, let's ignore Britain for the moment, in terms of the reception you get.
I think Japan itself is incredible. One of the nicest places we've visited over the last 3 or 4 years was Australia. There seems to be a boom in the rock industry down there. It reminded me very much of England in the mid-60s when the Beatles were happening. There's a good buzz down there. Lots of live shows on TV, lots of live bands in clubs, and you can go and sit in and play with them, and there's no hassle, which has sort of died here now, unfortunately. I think Australia was particularly good.
And one last question, because it tends to come up when we have people on the programme from various groups, and thankfully we've had most of the super groups on the programme. How do you make touring pay? Because the sheer vastness of everything we saw on the film must cost so much.
I don't think it's a question of making it pay, Noel. I think touring has got to be there. It's prestigious. It lets people know what your new material is all about, your new records. We're lucky if we break even on the road, but we do enjoy it because it's great to get out of the studio on the road, play your stuff to people and get an instant reaction. That's really the only reason we do it. Financially, it's not viable.
Well, please continue to break even. And would you come and help me with the swap?
Sure.
We've got our swap trolley here, and we've got a whole load of mugs with different answers in. Let's start at that end. What's written on that one? Is that the top 10? No, I've started at the wrong end.
Oh.
I knew I would. There we go. The top 10.
Top 10.
Have a delve in there. Question last week is, what's the lowest temperature theoretically possible? Would you have known this?
Lowest temperature theoretically possible?
Because I certainly didn't realise that there was a...
No.
273 degrees centigrade.
273 degrees centigrade?
That's cold.
Minus?
Yes, minus.
Oh, yes, minus 273.
Yes.
Ah, we've
Yes.
got it.
Well,
This is from Nicola Hornet, from 20 Broad Street, Green Road, Heybridge. Is that Malden,
Yep.
Essex?
Right, I'll hold on to that. Congratulations to you. You can see that you win the top 10 records down there and a Schwaddy Waddy LP. Have a delve in that one. Status Quo asked, who wrote Rocking All Over the World? It was John Fogerty. Their Sweatshirts album, model card, 2 waistcoats, a shirt. They brought along some fabulous stuff, the 2 guys.
Ooh.
And, no, you can't have any of it. Where's it going?
It's going to Lee Couch, yeah? 18 Tallet Road, Skewen, Neath, West Glamorgan, South Wales.
Jolly good. No, don't do that. What's so special about this year's FA Cup final? Would you know? Are you a footy man?
What's so special about it? Is it an anniversary?
Yes.
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 Not the 100th.
The 100th. Well
Yes.
done. Very good. Yes.
I've won that.
You might have won the
I've won a
Sabutio set.
Sabutio.
Have a go and see who has actually won it.
Christopher Hall, 1 Rutland Way, near Stamford, Lincolnshire.
Good, good. And finally, Peter Duncan from Blue Peter asked who first tipped who the black spot. It was Blind Pew who gave it to Billy Bones, and he brought along a broken paddle for some obscure reason, and Swinging Trunks and the model.
Right, well, it's all been won by Richard Ledger, 13 Faircross Way, St Albans, Hertfordshire.
Great. Well done. Congratulations,
Well done,
Richard. Eric, thank you very much for coming along this morning.
Pleasure.
And would you please thank all the guys on the road crew and everything for their cooperation in making the film. It's a fascinating insight.
Can I just give a little hello and a happy birthday to Tina, who's the daughter of the guy who does all our road equipment.
Right.
And hello to Colin Jones, our bank manager. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Eric.
Bye-bye.
John, over to you.